All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to stop client churn, how to stop losing your clients for your ads agency by simply just being able to track things and know how much profit you're making your clients, not revenue. Revenue could be anything. They have expenses, they have ad spend, they have your management fee. That all needs to be taken into consideration before you track the profit, which is what they actually care about. Like, are they making money on the ads you're putting? And then a lot of it, honestly, they don't know that you're making them the money that you're making them. And you as an agency owner, a lot of times don't know how much money you're making them, which could result in churn. And then you can't fight it because you don't know. So before you get scared on this sheet, there's a monthly, weekly, daily, and then our inputs here. All of this can be automated. This isn't like a sheet that you need to manually every single day be in here and putting in data. This part of the sheet could be put in through the Facebook API. So the date, the spend, and the raw lead, how much money you spend and how many leads came in through the API. This is automated. Every single day it can just update. And then the rest of it, which is qualified lead, how many appointments were set, how many showed, how many deals closed, how much revenue, and some of the notes through the go high level automations, the pipeline and go high level. And then everything else here is formulas and math. So I'll break everything down. Hopefully this doesn't look too scary, but this is how you stop client churn. And this is how you actually scale clients to be able to spend $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, or even more in a local niche, which is not very common. A lot of people don't know you can actually do that, or even be able to scale to that point because they don't track things. Anyways, here's our inputs. For this client, he does custom patios. Average job is about $27,000. And then gross margins we got off of him, we just asked the client, 40%, meaning gross margin. He keeps 60% of it as whatever else. 40% of it goes directly to the material cost and expenses directly attributed to having to fulfill the job. These are numbers that we have and set. We expect 30% of the leads to come in to be qualified. We expect 50% of the qualified leads to book, and we expect 35 of those to close. Now, this is important to just have this number and know your averages, because if you know any of these, then if you see in your monthly data or your weekly data that something is off, you know what to fix. It's not going to be a question. You're not going to be battling like, hey, we got you all these leads, business owner. Not a lot of them are closing. You're not going to be like struggling to figure out what the issue is. You're just going to know. Just like you can read the ads manager, you're going to know. Anyways, next part, sales cycle. This is very important to just grab, or at least have in the mental back of your head. I have it here, and I'll tell you a story on why. So a while back, I used to work with this home edition guy, and he was the one tracking this. He had this whole system and a team actually that was tracking his finances and numbers here. And neither him or I knew that they had the window, the sales cycle set to 7 days view. So every week we would get on a call and see that, we got him 200 leads, but none of them closed. Next week, same thing, 200 leads, nothing's closing. Next week, same thing. 240 leads, nothing closed. He decreased the budget by half because we weren't closing nothing. We ended up looking at the sales cycle and it was set to 7 days. So we were looking at leads that came in last 7 days to now, how many of those closed? They're home editions. None of them closed. The sales cycle is like 30 to 60 days. They need more time. Those are big projects. And there's a lot that goes into it to even, I don't even think the estimate gets sent out within 7 days of the lead coming in. So it was crazy. We opened up the timeline and we saw that, so those jobs that were getting done were not actually organic jobs that came in. It was actually like through the ads. We just didn't know. So then we were like, okay, so that has been profitable and we decreased the budget for no reason. It was a bad metric. So this is important because a few things. Now that we know that, obviously we can be patient and wait those 30 days when a lead comes in. But also when you're starting ads for a new client, if they're in a space that the sales cycle is that long, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is, or if it's a construction house, it's going to be longer, you know not to expect anything to close in that time. So in this case, sales cycle is 7 days for a custom patio. We're going to run, if this was brand new, we're going to run ads for 1 week and we should not expect a return yet. Whatever money we spent that first week, we should not expect a return until the next week, which is what ended up happening. We ran ads that first week, spent $1,400 that week, and no revenue came in. Obviously, it's not lost money. It's just not within the sales cycle. So we knew those leads were going to close next week, so we didn't freak out. A lot of people or a lot of business owners may freak out if you as the agency don't even know this, because they know this. They just don't think about it. And if they haven't thought about it, like logically, they have other things going on. Like some guys freak out. They're like, we've spent a week, we've spent 1,400, we haven't closed anything, or they're going to get worried, blah, blah, blah. But just, as long as you just convey that, yeah, it's 7-day sales cycle, we expect them next week, it'll calm them. So yeah, next week, 2 deals closed. Did these leads or closed deals come in this week? Probably not. These are probably the 2 deals that closed or came in last week, but now they'll close because we got the estimate out. It took, who knows, 3 to 4 days from the lead coming in to the appointment being booked, and then after that, it's a whole thing. So yeah, and then after that, you can see, whatever other numbers. It was pretty consistent after that. So this is where you as a agency can stop losing clients when you just know everything like this. And honestly, you should know from your ads more about your businesses or your clients' business finances than them themselves. Personally, I don't care about the cost per lead, the cost per raw lead. This is that little fancy number inside the ads manager that tells you how many leads came in and what those leads cost. But what I care about is cost per qualified lead, because the cost per raw lead, there's a lot of funnel hackers, there's spam leads, there's people that filled out the form on accident, or they were just checking another agency trying to funnel hack. It could be anything. But once we know how many of those leads were actually interested in getting this job done and getting an estimate done, and we're not just whatever spammers, that's what actually matters. So in this case, we're getting $95 cost per qualified lead, and then $156 cost per appointment on average. These 2 metrics are what I care most about: cost per appointment and cost to acquire a client. If I had to look at anything period to make my decisions off of, it would be cost per appointment, because that's what I have control of. Cost to acquire a client, I really do like this and I track it, but this is off my hands. This is on basically the business owner to go out there and do the sales, which I have no control of. I don't have any control of him going out there and doing the sales or being a good salesman or anything like that. So if I had to make my marketing decisions based off everything, it would be cost per appointment. And then before all that is cost per qualified lead. All right, so what this helps you do is, like I said, if anything goes wrong in the funnel, or doesn't even anything need to be going wrong in the funnel, you just know where your decisions would make most impact in. So if we look at this on the monthly data and we ask ourselves the question, what is the single best thing I could fix or change that would drive more revenue for this client? Because who knows, maybe I'm on rev share, maybe I want to charge him more, but I need to prove that I can charge more, whatever. What is the single best thing I could change in this funnel and for this client that would make the best difference? Do I need to spend money on ads? Do I need to spend more money? Do we need to get him more leads? Do we need to get him more appointments? What is it, right? So let's just look at this logically. Raw leads to qualified leads, a little bit more or less than 1 out of 3. We expected about 30%. So that's pretty much within KPI, not too far off. We can fix something there for sure, but not the biggest thing. Out of those qualified leads, 59 of them booked an appointment, which is about 59%. We expected 50%. So heck yeah, we're doing better there than we expected. So nothing to change there, nothing to fix there. The automated SMS, emails, and whatever automations are working. That's fine. Show rate, really this is just how many people didn't cancel, and he had the time to go out there and give the estimate. That's fine, not too bad. Out of the 43 appointments and estimates that he went out there to give in person, only 7 of those closed. We expected him to close 35%. And even if we expected him to close, let's say even 20%, that's still pretty far off, because he's only closing 2.23%. And this is what I mean by you can stop your client's churn if you can just help them be a good business and scale their business like this. Nothing on our end here needs to be changed. The ads are working great. We're getting the leads. We're getting appointments. We're getting people to actually show up to the appointment or not cancel the appointment at the rates and KPIs that we expected. But he's not closing, which is out of our hands. But the fact that we can bring this up to him is what helps us. Now we can start spending more. Our cost to acquire a client on average is $1,300, which granted, He's making money on that, obviously. He has a net profit of $70,000, give or take, or take. But if we got this down because his closing rate, his sales rate sucks, then he would make more money. We don't need to spend any more money on ads for him to make more money. The leads he's getting and the appointments he's getting is good enough that he could make a lot more money if he just fixed his sales process. And then that's where you can just either just tell him that info and have him fix it, or you could go along with him and ask him, like, are you just emailing the estimates and expecting them to reply? Or are you following up after you send it? Are you calling them? Are you doing it in person and asking them if they have a price concern or what is the concern, and then work on them? Maybe you need different materials that would make it fit within their price, because maybe you were out of their price range. There's a lot of things, but point blank, we know that something in his sales process is not working to its fullest potential or to the KPI that we expected it to, not even close. So that is the single best thing we can do to make more money here for his client, for this client. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you guys got some good info out of this. If you want to just make this yourself, go ahead. If you click the bio, the profile link, whatever, there's a school link in my thing, in my YouTube bio here, where you could just steal these templates and the automations on how to make this work. But either way, even if you track this on a little pencil, just track all these numbers. That way you can actually be able to help your clients scale. And then you as an agency owner, stop churning clients, because you can prove how much you're making. And if you're not making money for your client, then you could see that it's either your fault or it's their fault. He's very close to not making money if he had a worse sales rate, but he has good enough that he's making money, but we just need to get it better. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching YouTube. See you guys on the next one.